Okay, great. Actually, as per the topic today, we are going to explore the capability of the C# the technology to interact with the backend solutions. It is more or less a primitive task to do, and it is something that we have to recognize from the beginning. Yes, but it is something that we actually have to clarify from step to another. We did not actually have a practice clearly describing what we are going to do today. But even though we have the technology to do a similar thing, we are going to deal with the C# to insert data, to retrieve data, to maybe update data from the database entity. So we are going to generate the database, and the database we're going to use it to get connected, and then after we are going to solve some different tasks, whether insert or retrieve or something like that. Okay, let's dig in. So task number one is asking us to create a connectivity and check whether a connection is successful or not. Create a connectivity and check whether a connection is successful or not. Simple. So we have to actually deal with the context of the SQL client functionality is available in the C# library, which is the system data, and we will display message. Let's immediately start in, and I'll explain you the components. Actually, we have the solution here, but even though I'm going to explain it to you step by step, Visual Studio. I'm going to start a new web solution, web ASP solution, new website. Yes, it's a C#. It's an empty one. I'm not modifying anything here. Just I'm going to say okay. Yes, here I get it. Okay. To start, actually, I'm going to do anything. I'm not going to do anything. Actually, to start, since it is asking us to here as per the task, I come back to the guide. Task number one, test connectivity. Task number two, to insert actually a new candidate, to register new candidates. Task number three, to actually register a sales transaction. So you have three different activities: candidate, sales transaction, and connectivity. I'm going to create a database that has two entities. I'm going to create a database that has two entities. One is, let's say, candidates, or let's say customers, and one is, let's say, sales, products. Okay, we may say products, whatever. To start with. Okay, let's do so. Right click on the root folder, add new item, and the item would be actually a SQL Server database. Yes, here it is. He would generate me a folder. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna help him to do so. Yes, I'm gonna let him do. Here it is. Okay, here it is. Okay, and here I'm gonna find it. Yes, here it is in Server Explorer. The Server Explorer, remember that if it's not visible to you, you'll find it here in the View menu. In the View menu, find the Server Explorer. Here it is. Great. So tables, there is no table. It's empty completely. I'm gonna create the first table. I'm gonna say the first table is, so the database actually here is given the name the database, and yes, I may rename it. Let me rename it. Let me rename it to, let's say, sales DB, sales DB, and I'm gonna leave it like that. So the sales DB, here it is. Okay, I'm gonna create the first table, which is customers. Right click right here, right click, add new table. I'm gonna add some attributes. I'll leave the ID like as such. I'm gonna say name, which is Barcha. Okay, I'm gonna say last name. Also, I'm gonna say it's a Barcha, the data type. I'm gonna say country. Country I said. Yes, here it is. It's a Barcha also. I'm gonna keep it like as such. I'm gonna say contact. Yes, yeah, I'm gonna say Barcha. I'm gonna keep it Barcha also. Yes, great. So The table name is customers. I'm going to change the table name to be customers from here. Customers and update here. It's customers now. Just update. Then after update database. It is doing. Yes, succeeded. It is successfully. Okay, I'm gonna close this one. I'm finished. I'm gonna generate a second entity, which is for the transactions and the sales. I'm gonna say products. So right click. Let me check this one first of all. Yes, here it is, the customers. So let's generate the second one in admin table. I said products. I'm gonna say PID. Oh, prod ID. Okay, it's an entity like such. Prod name. Let's say prod name. Varchar. Great. Varchar. Prod. Let's say type. Prod category. Let's say prod category. Let's say Varchar, whatever. Varchar. It covers all. Quantity. I'm gonna say it's an int. Quantity. And okay, I'll keep it like as such. So here products, the name of the table products. Okay, products has been set. Okay, update. Yes, update database. Succeeded. I'm gonna close. Refresh to check it. Yes, we have both now. We have both of them. Great. As per task number one, C# based solution here to check to realize the connectivity and check upon the success actually of the connectivity. There have to be a message to be displayed on screen. Here it is. Connection made or connection succeeded. Something like that. So to do so, let's explore the capabilities. Actually, the purpose here, we can solve it in 3-4 lines actually of code. Yes, but you have to understand why we are doing so in order to have the capability to modify and to alter each whenever needed. Or if you receive an exam and you are required to modify, you'll be able to understand what to modify and what not to modify. So, yes, before I do anything, so I'm going to populate each of them with some data. Just I'm going to show table data. Here, the ID, I'm going to keep it 1. The name, I'm going to say Oman. Last name, I'm going to say Nizwa, whatever. Country, Oman again, all capital. Contact, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Second one, I'm going to say Khalid. I'm going to say, yes, Khalid again. I'm going to say Oman. Yes, here from 1 to 9. Good. It's enough. There is no save button here. Just next line. The red dot gets disappeared. خلاص. Saved. Close. I'm gonna insert the second, populate the second entity. Show table data. Yes, here for the product ID, I'm gonna keep 1. I'm gonna say milk. Category here actually. Milk. There's no category for this. Here for this thing. Let's say elementary. Okay, quantity I'm gonna say 100. Milk category I'm gonna say dairy. Better, dairy. Okay. To let's say parsley. Here I'm gonna say vegetables. Quantity I'm gonna say 150 for example. Next line. خلاص saved. Close. Okay, we have two entities and with data each. I want to generate the first table, the first interface. where I'm going to do my job, my work here, the required of the connectivity. So here, add a new item, and the item would be actually a web form. Service, no, I need a web form. Here it is. So I keep the name as such, whatever. I may rename whatever. I'm going to say home.aspx. Okay, close and design. So save, saved already. Yeah, I did it. One of the very famous actually steps to do, and one of the very let's say fast and short paths to check if the thing is working or not. Briefly, here to solve the question still to check if the connectivity is made or not. What to do is to drag and drop any of those two here inside the page. I drag, drop, wait for it to come, and here it is. Yes, great. It had come. I can activate. I can enable all the features, whatever. I can do that, but it's not mandatory. I enable to make it more visible. Close. Sorry, save. And then after right click in any empty place, view in browser. In any empty place, right click view in browser. Plus, I have the data in. So connectivity has happened. But here we did not do the connectivity. We did the connectivity and the retrieval of data. We did the connectivity and the retrieval of data. Actually, remember, we are doing retrieval here also. We can update. So it's not the purpose of the question. The question is asking us to check if there is a connectivity or not. So I'm gonna delete this process. So I'll leave it. Control Z, cancel, cancel. Yes, خلاص. It's a step backward, step backward, step backward, undo, 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 until I come to my original state. Here, I'm gonna do my necessary actually tasks in order to check if the connectivity has happened or not. So we have to generate the connection to the database, and we check yes, connected or not. Let's do so. Okay. So in any, we are not required to do anything. We are not required to do anything, but to check the connectivity. Here means when I check, right click view in browser, it has to give me a message connected. That's it. Connection established. Something like that. Otherwise, nothing. That's the purpose of the question. So in any empty place, two clicks. Yes. Here I got my two clicks. Here I got my two clicks. And in here, I'm going to do my necessary. The first thing is that I'm going to generate a SQL connection, actually. A SQL connection. Actually, I do not have any SQL connection. You see, it's not visible. From the list here, it's not visible. So what should I do? I'm going to add the SQL client here. I'm going to use the library responsible for delivering this SQL connection. System, data, and then here I'm going to call the SQL client. Here it is. Semicolon. Great. Now I'm gonna repeat SQL connect. Yes, here it is. Appeared. Connection. Oh, I'm gonna say con. Okay, it's enough. Very okay. This connection actually would have actually a string that specifies the path and the data string to the database, which is the following. Right click on this database, properties, and here it is, the connection string. We have specified this connection string to where the database is. So I'm going to define a string variable, give it the name, for example, path or data string, data str. Okay, great. So semicolon. Okay. So here we declare two variables. Actually, one of them is for the connection, and the second one is for the path to, or the data source, where the database is actually. Regarding the data source, which is this one, the data str, I'm going to copy it here, data str here, equals in between two quotations. Here between those two quotations, I'm going to paste path or the connection string case of this database. Here, when I click properties, this is the connection string. Double click it, copy, select it means and paste it here. That this quotation I'm gonna delete, and this quotation also I wanna delete, and I wanna put a not here at the beginning, arabas, to avoid any error. Yes, خلاص, there is if you delete it, see it will give me errors later on. See, it is error, 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 and so on. So I'm gonna avoid those escaping characters. So at the beginning, before and outside of the quotation, outside of the quotation. After generating this string here, we have to use this one later on by initializing this con first. So con equals new SQL connection, let's say here, and in between here is the data str. Yes, semicolon. So this way, we generated a variable to be SQL connection like. We generated another variable to be string, and it would hold the path to the database where it is. And then after we initialized the originally created connection variable, here it is, initialization. Just simply here, I'm going to say, let's say, I may actually start, I may start the, no, I'm going to just response, just I'm going to display first of all, because I have to explain the thing. So in order to avoid the conflict or the issue, I'm going to just make you see the results, and based on that, we'll decide. So here, response, right? Let's say connection established. Full stop. I'm going to save here. Modification, come back here and test to see if we get it or not. Connection established, he's saying. Connection established. But this connection established. See what I'm going to do. I'll come back. I'm going to highlight, cut, and put it at the beginning. Before the connection even. It means here, without connection. I'm going to test. Save. Come back here. Right click. View in browser. Still, we haven't connections established. What does mean? I did not do any connection. How it is being established? I did not do any connection to be established. We do not have a connection to be established. Still, the process did not reach. Here it is. Here actually because we have to specify the path. Yeah, you have to specify the path. The database that it is active. Here it is now. What should I do? I have to open the connection that this database, this message has to follow. So before of it, see, it has to be after the connection string. So here, not at the beginning. No, here, no. It has to be here, this position exactly. And before of it, I'm going to call the connection. So I'm going to say con, here it is, dot open. Very simple. Dot. Save and test. Connection string established. Great. So here we are sure that the connection has been established because we did the startup of these connections, this connection open. And after, just immediately right after, we have to close. Right? We have to close. Great. So, okay, so we call it. Let's save. Come back here. Right click. View in browser. Connection established. So very successful. Yeah, very successful so far. So this way, we were able to be sure that we are able to do connectivity, and the database is available. So we are able to connect because just one last manipulation. If I change here the data source, for example, the database, Here, instead of sales DB, I'm going to say sales DB 111. Save. Come back to this data, this interface, view in browser, and we'll see what happened. Error. Connection open. Problem. So we cannot. The computer is not able to open this connection. So because he's not able to find this database, it's not available. The database is not available for him. Thus, there is no database to open. Thus, we had this error. Thus, we had this error. So what should we do? Simply, we change it. We return the database as such. So here, yes. Task number one is done. This is the solution task number one. So task number two is asking us to generate actually a connectivity and to, to insert data, not only to retrieve. I'm going to do the thing actually in a new interface. I'm not going to use the same interface. I'm going to use a new interface. So I'm going to create a new web page. Right click, add new item. I'm going to keep it with the same name before. Then I'm going to rename. Here the question says candidate. So I'm going to say new candidate. Right click to rename. New candidate. That's it. Save. Delivery. Design view. Okay. So in here we are going to, as per the request, we are going to yes, insert somebody into an entity in the database, whatever the database entity is, and we will yes, execute that. Let's do that. Let's do that. So Visual Studio, the first thing I will do is to generate the form where those data to be read from. The form where the database actually is from, customizable. Simply toolbox, text box, ready one, sorry, text box one, here, text box two, and so on. But what are those? Those are the fields we're going to use to fill up one of those yes, database entities. And he clearly said candidates, so customers is the considered one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have five fields. Let's insert five data. Let's say text box. There are five now. Okay, I'm going to insert a button. Okay, we have the button. Great. So yeah, I'm going to say save or register for the question. Great. So before of this, I'm going to say the label. I'm going to insert the label here. Then after the second label, and we put the text later on. When you insert all of them, and then after we give each name. Last. Okay, label number one is the ID. I'm going to say it's the ID number. Label number two is first name. Name. Label number three. And label number three is last name. Last name and name. Label number three. Actually, here I'm going to respect the same syntax. So last name here, I'm going to say contact. I think I believe so. Let's check country. And then after last one, contact. Okay, great, done. And now, actually, I'm gonna save the modifications. Test. Everything is there. Once we fill this form and the user clicks this register, we have to find the data later on, whatever we type, inside of this candidate. So this customer, sorry. Viewing browser. Let's tell you here, I'm gonna just let's visualize the thing in the browser first of all. No, actually, whatever. Here, what I'm gonna do immediately is the script responsible for inserting those fields. Why I given 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and specifically here saying ID, name, last name, country, and so on, because the customer has this architecture: the ID, the name, the last name, the country, the contact. So those are the fields, attributes from the entity. Okay. The event here is the trigger. Sorry, is the yes, it is the trigger, and it is the register button. Double click it, and then here you do whatever you like. So here I'm gonna start by creating the connection string. So here I'm gonna say con, and then after SQL connection is not available, so I'm gonna call it here first of all. System.data.sql client. Okay, great. Semicolon. I'm gonna repeat this SQL connection now. SQL connection is available. Semicolon. Semi-connection, I'm gonna say con. Semicolon. Okay. Con actually here. Let's say connection. Full word. Okay. Regarding the con here, the first one, the con. We are going to get actually one of the offers, which is the path to the database. Right click on this database, properties, connection string properties, select it and copy. Paste here. I'll do this double quotation here and here. So wait here. Let me check the line. Yes, it's the same color here. And now let's pass to the next work. Let's pass to the next work, which is here. This connectivity we are going to pass to the server in order to have the benefit of this database. Sorry, this yes, to reach to do the insert or not, whatever. So this connection here, it would be actually new SQL connection, and this SQL connection would be actually on top of the column. Yes, we succeeded in doing the connectivity, no more or less. Now we will execute the DML in order to understand that it is important. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna call actually the insert I need, the insert into, let's say, insert into what, customers, customers, in between double quotations. I'm gonna do the insert into. This is the query actually. This is the query. I'm gonna just insert into queries values immediately. Values in between double quotation. What are the fields? Like ID, name, last name, country, contact. ID. I'm gonna say actually ID. Come on. ID. Come on. ID. Okay, comma. And after I have to use this the same spelling now here of this ID capital I, name, last name. Come on. Okay. Last name. Country contact. Okay. Values, insert into customers values. The values here, I was actually, I had to at the beginning, but for your explanation only. But I'm gonna replace this ID with the value I'm gonna insert. So I'm gonna say at ID, and I'm gonna replace this name with the value I want. At name, no quotation. Really. The last name, the same thing. At last name, at last name. Then after the country, the same way. At country, the contact, at contact. Okay, we spell it up. Good. We did the query now. We build the query. What is this? What is this ID and name and so on? Those are the values that we are going to pass to the query. What is the query? The query actually what we see the full now, the insert. So here simply I'm gonna just give it definition as a string. I'm gonna say query equals to everything double quotation and the semicolon at the end. Got no errors at all. No errors at all. I'm gonna save meanwhile and I want to test it. Build solution. We have errors. Unrecognized space. Yes, here because of those two kinds. But even though we have this, here I'm gonna say here at build 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 solution. One succeeded. Good. Okay, here after generating, we have to have actually a connection. Sorry, a command based actually in order to pass this query. This is string now. No, we have to generate a command based on this string. Yes, command. I'm gonna say cmd that equals new new SQL command. And this what is it? Command. This command is on top of the use of the con. And this con actually it will pass on top of this con, it will pass this query. Here is small. L is small. Okay, good. Yes, now very fine. Let me debug as well to check what's the problem here. So, system. Connection here. This is the connection. Save and test. Usability. Is an error to appear now? Error. Nothing. No errors. Great. No errors. This is what we want so far. Good. We continue. So here this connection is, and then I cannot convert from sync to, yes, from sync to system data and like that. Yes, great. So we can come back. Query and connection. The query here, the query, I'll just pass the query. Enough, only query, we pass. We have passed both. Save, build again, debug. Still I have two errors. So we have to convert from sync to system. Let me check what's the problem here. Not convert. Okay, whatever. Actually, we'll check it later. Just we'll come back to that later. Actually, according to the request, we need to make actually an insert, and after the value will be actually put dynamically. What I'm gonna do is those values which are from the form, I'm gonna just match them exactly to those fields here. So in here immediately I'm gonna just call the CMD dot parameters dot add with the value immediately text box one dot text. Wait, semicolon. I'm gonna do it for all. CMD dot add with value. Here actually this text box, but to add it to whom? Between double quotation, comma. Here the at ID first of all. At ID first of all. And I'll do that for all the others. So I copy paste the ID, then after name, last name. I'm gonna say last name. Here, country, contact. Okay. Last name here. I'm checking the spelling only. Okay, great. I'm gonna say so. Immediately we finished the query. Just I'm gonna open this query. I'm gonna open this connection, which is the con. We have a problem in the con now. I recognize. Now I am able to see there is a clear problem in the con. SQL connection. Yes, connection string. Same, yeah, and connection equals no SQL connection. New connection code. That's it. We done. SQL command query con the connection here. Yes, that's it. Connection open. Yes, that's it. Done. Now when I say open, yes, here CMD. Not execute now reader. Execute non query. Sorry. Connection. Not close. Let's see the openings with parameters and methods with parameters. Here, cmd.execute.query. What's the problem here? Execute SQL statement again, the convention and return the number of rows. And now I'm gonna say for support. Let me build to check only assignment call into increment document where any object expressions can be used. CMD to be used. Okay. CMD okay. So everything actually is under control so far, but let me check why. I'm just wondering why the error is appearing. Yes, actually, I'm going to mention it as a method. So build again. One succeeded. Okay, great. Now we have it. Okay, now I saved already. I'm gonna test. So I come back. Right click. So here in the add candidate, the browser. My ID will give me a number 1, 2, name. 1, 2, 3, last name. It's Oman. Country is Oman capital. S. Sultanate. Oman. Contact from 1 to 9. Okay, register. I did not see anything. Again, register. Here I have actually a key, primary key constant. Primary key constant means it has been saved. Okay, I'm gonna close. Test my database. Refresh. Just open this database. Table data. 12, 12, 12, 12. This is 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. Did I insert only 12 there? Let me test again. Right click, view in browser. Yes, ID I'm gonna say 159. Name I'm gonna say Bad. Last name I'm gonna say Oman. Country I'm gonna say Oman. Contact I'm gonna say Oman to one. Okay, you just execute, but second one has the most likely error. Okay, let me test the environment here. Refresh. Show table data. 12, 12, 12 is the same. Right click view in browser. 147 40 40 40 40. Contact from 1 to 9, 0. Okay, I have the same. Or let me check the database I have. Actually, everything has happened. Actually, we did it. We succeeded. Just let me check the table only. Table data. Everything is there. Everything is there. That's great. Everything is there. So actually, based on that, the third task is asking us. The third task is asking us to insert insert actually a transaction. A sales transaction is the same scenario, but here actually it's for your understanding only. Yeah, insert a candidate means we need this table, this entity. We, transaction sale means this entity, this table. So based on that, you will do all the tasks for this. You'll do the insert a new page to insert the product, and here from here add, not from here, from the solution, add, add a new item. Yeah, your web form. You may rename it. The default you may rename it if you wish. I'm gonna say a transaction, sales transaction, sales transaction. Yes, and you do the necessary task to generate a page to save data, to insert data into this product. Okay, I'm sending you the recording now. Sending you the recording now to do the thing.